It was about this time of the year, 3 years ago in 2017, that the onslaught to murder my kitties began. And by November, they were all dead. Killed by some retarded old white devil. Everson. Yeah, and people knew he was going to do it, and they still let him do it. Instead of leaguing with me to catch the kitties and get them fixed and get them housed, it's like they lived vicariously through him, murdering them, poisoning them to death. And I still remember Mr. Serious showing up, looking so distraught after watching his brother, Wacky Tobacco, who was so happy. He was such a good kitty. For being a homeless kitty, he was just a happy kitty. Watching him writhe in pain and die, being poisoned. And I suppose it was my own cowardice, because I had to know when I looked out the window and saw Ronnie walking across to John Cole and Virginia Cole's bushes where the cats hung out, and skunks too. Walking over there with a tray of poisoned food. And I should have went and retrieved that food and called the police. And instead, I just, in a million years, it never occurred to me that, that's what I was seeing, But, hindsight is 20/20, and yeah, I watched this guy go poison him to death, He saw me in the window and actually stopped and went to turn around like, he thought he got caught. But then he changed his mind. Oh, like, fuck him, Well, it's just coming for him. He'll get time looped to some cats. But that really, they traumatized me so bad that I'm still not over it. I couldn't be more traumatized by this, still to this day, if you had murdered my children. It's just that traumatized. Well, actually, my children, it probably wouldn't traumatize me so bad because, they can kind of defend themselves. They're humans. They can speak up for themselves. The cats were homeless. All they had was some bushes to hide under and some food that I was giving them. They didn't have nothing else. They didn't have tenderness. They didn't have love. The white devils that looked upon them begrudged them an existence, all except for the Coles and me and my ex-wife. You see, and the town literally worked, with these evil white devils who now no longer live at the corner of Lake and Erie. Some of their relatives got the place, but they're not like them. They worked with this fucker to drive the people across the street from them out of their house, an old couple, for daring to feed homeless cats, for daring to engage in this ministry, and for daring to let the cats sleep under their bushes. Is it any wonder why, to release the poison mosquitoes, they were attracted to Florida, where this guy went? He will bring evil wherever he goes now. Like somebody ghetto takes the ghetto everywhere they go. He's got that animal torture karma. I mean, he didn't even kill him with a clean shot to the head. He poisoned him to death. He pretended to be somebody who would feed him and put poison down for them. The ultimate betrayal. Fucking with somebody's food. You can't get worse than that. It's like they have to eat that shit. And you fucked with it, So yeah, I still deal with that. I carry that every day. I wrote that song after that to the kitties, I wanted a music act that could actually do it justice, to pick it up and play it, man, and, just totally turn it into something and make people have to face. You ain't murdering cats and people ain't saying shit about it no more. We're going to speak up. We're going to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. They're torturing dogs too, but for some reason cats is really they're really getting a hard go with this subhuman generation, this lesser than all other generation. the most evil, scummy fucking welfare phantoms ever to come here and fail their pre-existence before getting time looped as their victims and as slaves and then spiritually executed to never get born, based on what's in their own non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory, not based on anything else. They did it to themselves. They came here and they chose to do what they did. And see, there's evil white devils like that running loose, a threat to the animals. That's why you have to care to combat them. You know, the motherfuckers that are coming after y'all, they don't care about your animals. They don't care how many animals have to suffer. The robotized host to the ancient AI, aka Satan, that Lucifer and Christ hate, you know, they've already been booted up with an injection of the blood vein computer, so they're compliant and obedient. And they will snatch people out of homes and close the doors on their animals and leave them in there to starve to death. And then get time looped as them when they die. So will those who programmed them to do it and send them to do it. So yeah, I was in the field praying for my ex-wife and her husband today. You know, it's like I ended up in good karma land as far as, like, you know, how good my place is. But at the same time, you know, there's shit happening that they have to address right away, right? And, you know, regarding, suddenly I haven't even been moved out 24 hours. Suddenly the landlord wants to sell the house, you know? It's like, damn. And I know, this is reciprocity for, you know, kicking you out of the house. No, it's not. My cats are there. Nothing that could be done to Lisa and John is reciprocity for what happened to me. You know, I see it from a different perspective now, you know. Today, I just, like, you know, I wrapped my mind around a whole different perspective. And that's that perhaps bigger fortifications were required, is why John manifested in Lisa's life when he did. Because, well, y'all know I was trying to manifest her life first, thinking that, well, you know, then my life would manifest quickly afterwards. I didn't know it would take so long for my shit to kick in. Eventually, I will have everything that, you know, I set out to acquire. I'm not worried about it. It's not even really important to me if it doesn't manifest, you know? That's where I'm at with that. But I would love for something to happen right about now, me to win the lotto or come into money some kind of way, so that I could buy a nice house with some property around it for them to move to. And just, you know, take all the cats and go move to it. And then buy me a house somewhere within, you know, 5 miles or so of their place that can be equally outfitted for the animals, so that we can, like, when I'm at home, they can bring them and leave them with me for a while. And when they're going to be gone, they can just bring them and leave them with me, and, you know, I don't have to go sit them at their house. And we can both get breaks from the animals and both have the animals at the same time by sharing custody like that, you see. So, you know, and I talked to Lisa about that she needs to make sure that people understand if something happens to her and John, the cats are mine. They come back to me. No matter what, you know, those are living entities. You're not going to split them up or, you know, put some of them in a shelter and keep, you know, the ones you pick or whatever. That's not happening. Y'all can have everything they got. I don't give a fuck about none of their shit. But the animals, that's something they got to sign me to, and I'm not going to step off from that. I'm sorry. The reason that I, you know, am in the position I am now, where I'm at, is because they can take care of the animals. I don't have to. I don't have to be concerned with that. God's got me doing something else. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's no more than this dumb shit. Talking, spreading the frequency resonance of the spirituality. Because maybe one voice ain't enough. You know, I see Paul Romano kind of as the prophesied voice in the night. But someone else told me that, you know, no, that's referring to a singer. And the only one who qualifies so far is you. He was talking to me. The only one who qualifies is you. And I'm like, wow. I, you know, don't carry that high of a mantle in my own mind, you know, upon myself, you see. So I'm hoping for some good shit to happen for these guys. I'm hoping that I have the pictures of my kitties in there on the laptop, and if I do, I'll put them, up for you to see. Hey, I used to have the door open on that garage. That's how I caught some of the babies. I caught a whole generation of cats like that, and I I fed the cats that I couldn't provide for yet. I couldn't provide them with veterinary care and, bringing them in and taking them, to the vet and shit. You see, I couldn't do that yet because people didn't care. They wouldn't fund my ministry. And it just ate my soul. It ate my soul, man. It really did. I just, I couldn't believe it that, I had to fight so hard. I sold my music gear twice, man. I built my studio twice and had to sell it because, well, I couldn't get food for the cats and for us. And litter and shit. I had to, create money because there was none. So, I'm doing without my music right now, but I have my music gear, So, it's like, I can always, eventually get in a position where I can play music again, I kind of see it as well. Maybe the universe or God or whatever doesn't want to hear me sing no more. Maybe people don't like my singing, Maybe the mainstream, is so afraid of competing with me and my frequency resonance. Or they're just so committed to whatever it is they're doing with their frequency resonance that they're happy to see this. So you won't see anybody from the mainstream jumping up and being like, no, Vinny's not fucking getting squelched out. No, now we're going to make sure he gets broadcast even louder because of this shit. Because, well, kitties might get rescued and people might stop hurting shit and negative frequency resonance will stop getting created to cause all the pain and suffering upon the humans. So, the miracles could happen and good stuff could happen. We can't have that. You can't have nobody from the mainstream decide what's happening here. I understand. I understand what's happening. This is the movie Idiocracy, and I am the character that can't believe the stupidity I'm looking at. Because, well, for spite, who you hurt, and ultimately, if you're going to die and get time looped, because those that you hurt, you wouldn't help. Those that you wouldn't help via leaguing with somebody else, or you didn't even have to do the work. You didn't even have to put your face on it. You didn't have to put your name on it. It's like, you could have did shit anonymously, and just to do good, you would not move. You were rooted like a tree. But to do evil, your feet run quick. If you're living up to that prophecy. So I should be getting internet equipment soon, within, I don't know, a week. And I guess it's just plug and play. You plug it in and it works. It's going to cost me $23 a month, but it's better than $50 a month for unlimited data. They use my phone as a hotspot, which, it dumps out a lot of times, especially like in the middle of shit when it's got a whole lot of shit going on. Like I got 3 or 4 tabs open, plus I'm uploading or something. It just wants to dump out, and then I have to turn it off and turn it back on because, well, it's registering it's still connected to the internet. But it isn't really, and how I know is I keep a tab open on the weather. And I just click that tab once in a while and I hit reload. And if it takes a long time to reload, I know there's no internet. You see, so I figured out how to gauge it and see what's happening. So, alright, this is long and I'm going to spend a lot of data to upload it, especially if I'm going to put pictures on it. So, I just wanted to holler at y'all. Aslan went home. Well, he got picked up. I don't know if they went home. He probably didn't. It doesn't matter. But I couldn't have did this without Lisa's husband. He's the one who did almost all the heavy lifting. He's the one, he ran circles around me when, I was going slow moving one thing. He'd get moved like 3 things, it's like that guy has been a blessing every step of the way, for real, and he might have been needed because, well, he has, greater resources and can legally lease it better to either buy the house or for them to buy another house that's, they can take the cats to. So, I know that everything is going to work out, but I'm hoping that y'all will join me in praying for them for the sake of the ministry that I manned for 6 years. The ministry, not for, to benefit them, I would like for them to be benefited. If they're willing to put in the work, people who put in the work should get benefits for it, If you care about shit, you should get rewarded. That's why you get to go to the next timeline if you care about shit. That's why you get to stab it trying to make it to the real world. Because isn't it beautiful how God protected all the animals and the real world from all these fuckers, right? So we managed to draw them out with the parameters of this paradigm and make them think that they could actually get away with the things that they've done. Isn't it beautiful? There never was any Chinese torture devices or anyone who would use one. You see, it's those are just facts, They never get created. Bear traps never get created. But those who used them and caused animals to writhe in pain get to be them animals. There you go, stupid. Be careful what method you use for stuff that you do. Because, well, you don't want to cause unnecessary suffering. If you're going to shoot something and kill it, make sure you can do a good kill shot. Practice shooting first. Don't just go out there willy-nilly. You're practice shooting at some fucking live shit. Because, well, you might not kill it and it writhes in pain and lives a life writhing in pain for years. Do you want to get time loop doing that, stupid? Come on, man. People need to wake up to what we're really in. Ronnie never did. Ronnie could have leagued with me. If he didn't like the skunks, he could have got a humane trap and put it in his yard and took him out to his property in Frederick. You see? He had property to go in the woods to go turn them loose on. And, or even take him turn them loose on some state land, all the trails around Grayling. No, man, he wants his big answer is to kill the motherfuckers and to kill the cats. And he killed some little kids' cats. That's why that post is up. We copied and pasted it over onto Zombie Slave Clone in case it comes up missing. And for some reason, Zombie Slave Clone stays up no matter what gets posted there. But part of it could be, okay, the stuff that looks racist, that's a test. Because the motherfuckers who wrote it are black. Ha, yeah. Kind of like that guy who looked white, but everybody thought he was racist when he said spooks. And he wasn't even talking about anybody black or white. He was talking about government agents, spooks. Yeah, it's like, man, it's like people have gotten dumb. Where, it's dangerous to try and teach them. It's dangerous. You might fucking end up fucked up just from trying to teach this group, for real. And they're trying to make it that way that you can't teach them anyway. And then they elevate motherfuckers that put shit out that ain't even music. You can't tell us nothing, and get fucking videos with little kids chanting that shit. Okay, well, if we can't tell you nothing, you can't learn nothing, stupid. And you should always be wanting to learn. I'm 56 years old. I'm still open to learning anything I can learn with this day. And I have learned stuff with this day. I met my neighbor Mimi. She's been here 10 years. She's in room 20, or apartment 20 next to mine. She's got a big 2.5-year-old dog. And when she puts a muzzle on it, his whole demeanor changes and he becomes like a robotized service dog. And she's not a bad looker for her age. I imagine she's probably late 60s. And she seems pretty nice. And I imagine that there's a few dickheads here. And I imagine there's some good people here. You just gotta, avoid the dickheads and interact with the good ones. That's what I told her, is I try not to interact with people that I can't, it's not a positive energy thing, And she thought that was funny. So, yeah, if we can make blessings come to Lisa and John and Lisa, on behalf of the animals in the ministry, that they were willing to tend, then that would be great. If they could keep that house, that'd be even greater. And if I can come into the money for it, I'll buy it and give it to them. All right, y'all. Be at peace.
said to reject me. Just turn away, I don't exist. I don't rate your list. I'm breathing, I'm living, and I'm loving. And I'm all alone if you're not here for me. Will you let your heart be turned as cold as the nights I spent without you here alone? Will you shield me from the wind? Even Jesus needed friends from time to time. Would you be mine and take me home? Would you be mine and take me home? Seed, what does it get me? Will I find someone who is strong, smart enough to see it's wrong, to stand by and just let the world life rape me, deprive me of the little time I might take up in their lives? Will you let your heart be turned as cold as the nights I spent without you here alone? Will you shield me from the wind? Even Jesus needed friends from time to time. Would you be mine and take me home? Would you be mine and take me home? Don't be like those zombies, acting like guys, they're mommy. I need hands of God, so please take me home and take me home. Won't go till you try, you like me. Reach out for your friend and find me. Be the hands of God and please take me home, take me home, and take me home.